Flosstube. It's Victoria, the Happy Stitching Nurse. It is my 5th Flosstube. I'm blown away the fact that I'm already at number 5. And then I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed, because I am over 100 subscribers at this point. I wanted to give a shout out to Lisa from Crossed by Floss. She mentioned my sister and my channel in her last video from last week. So I think that that has helped to drive some subscribers over our way. So I really wanted to give a shout out to her. I have been watching her videos, so when she mentioned us, I about lost it. I was like, oh my God, she watched us. And so I've been watching her, and she's got these beautiful mirabilias that she's been working on. She's doing May, what is it? She's calling it May Mirror. I'll put a link to her videos down below, and you can see her progress. And I have a mirror that is sitting in my cart on 1-2-3 Stitch. It's the Mermaid Mirror now, after watching all of her mirrors. I haven't ordered it yet because I've been trying desperately to be on a pattern diet. And unfortunately, that was a little bit of a fail because my sister had pointed out an O Canada pattern, and it was on sale. It's like, well, it's on sale. Yeah, gotta buy it. And it was Canada. So I'll put a link to the pattern down below, and you should see a graphic or photo of it up here in the corner. I will post that for people to see. I won't be working on it quite yet, but there will be a sew along for it in the month of June, or stitch along, not a sew along, stitch along. So I'm already doing a stitch along for the month of June. So I'm not doing a second because I'm not that crazy. I'm already doing the Quaker Christmas. I have not started it. I have it kitted up and I'm ready to go with everybody else. So we'll see how that one goes. I'm sure I have the floss for the O Canada, most of it, because I did get some floss for 46 cents on a doorbuster over at Joann's. Once again, thanks to my sister sending me information on the floss being on sale. Brain goes, oh, sale, must get. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. So I did want to mention my sister and I both started the Flosstubes. Lisa from Cross by Floss had, I guess she was a little unclear about our situation. She believes that we are in 2 different states, and I just wanted to clarify a little bit of information. We are in 2 totally different states, which is why we end up FaceTiming each other when we're stitching, or if we're doing quilting or sewing in general. We will do that as just a stitch along with each other. She'll be working on whatever project she's working on, and I will work on my project. So if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be stitching, because she is the one who taught me how to cross stitch. So I will put a link down below for my sister, because she's awesome and she's my sister, taught me how to do this. So, and you'll see that we have 2 different styles. She's very methodical. She gets her patterns. She knows every step that she's going to be doing with these things from A to Z. Oh, I'm going to be doing this, and then I'm going to do this with it at the end, and then I'm going to make miracles with it and have it all beautiful and have it up on the shelf by the end of the week. And then she takes photos of it and, puts it on the catwalk and things along those lines. And me, I'm just like, here, they get to hang out on my quilt. They're finished, but they're not FFOs, but they're having a party with me. They're hanging. Anyway, I've had a few people question, or not make questions. I had a few people ask me about the quilt behind me. I made that quilt. My mom had made a quilt for my son, and so I took leftovers and made an orange peel quilt with it. So I think there were some areas where I was a little bit short on some of the fabric, so I purchased some charm packs to go with it. I don't believe that this fabric is available anymore because this was done years ago. I purchased the charm packs through Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I used the template that they had sold for the orange peels. They also have a tutorial. I will put that down below for anybody who is interested. This took me a little while to do, but I did do it. Once the time I was done with all of the blocks, I didn't have matching borders, but I did take it to the local quilt store, and I did, as you can see, find some fabric that worked well with it. So I just wanted to comment on that because I have had a few questions on it. And I know that I'll end up with a few more questions about this dude back here. That is my Grim Ripper. He is supposed to work some voodoo magic on me not needing to unstitch, but apparently he is faulty and he is not blessing my stitching this past week because my gnome, my sledding gnome that I started for my start for the week, I'm going to put a picture up there where I was so you can see just how much progress I've made. Because here is how far I've gotten. The fabric likes to move around a lot on me. And the thread likes to tangle. The last thing I'm wanting to do at the end of a long day in the hospital is come home and have something that's grieving me. So I'm going to give it a little bit more time. I did some unstitching because there were a couple of spots where I had taken 3 legs of the fabric instead of 2. And so I was off on my count. Things weren't matching, lining up. So yeah, it was giving me a little bit of a headache. Not to mention, so here's my card. Or actually I have 2 of them in here with the threads. The threads in the pattern or the kit, they don't tell you what number each floss is. Oh, here's light blue. Here's very light blue. Yeah, trying to use white paper and figure out which ones are which, along with the light gray and gray. They like to make friends with each other and blend and camouflage each other. So I'm going to have to count them and figure out which one is which. I'm going to give this guy another month. See where I end up with him. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera now as I put him down kind of angrily. It's graving me. And I know I'll get questions on this. This is my project bag. I've been putting all of my May Mania in here. This is Tula Pink fabric. I did make this myself. I got some little, I can't remember what these guys are called. Anyway, I got some little matching little dangly things here. There's a little seahorse, a little shell, and starfish. So this is one of the project bags that I've made. I've got a couple of others. I'll show them at some other point. I like to try to keep these videos to 15 minutes or less. So I want to move on and get through some of the stuff that I wanted to discuss. So I did have since I was having the issue with my gnome, my brain couldn't wrap around it and I needed to do some stitching. So I stitched it on a few other projects that I have. So I'll put a picture here of my Aurora Cabin by Dimensions, where I was, and I've made a little bit of progress this past week. Here is the updated progress. So you can see that there. It's a Dimensions Gold Aurora Cabin. I have my Reflections of Canada. I worked on that one a little bit too. I was kind of jumping all over the place this week because I was having a week of it at work. And so my brain said, do what you want to do. Make you happy. So I'll put a picture of my Reflections of Canada where I was, right up there. And here is an update of where I'm at. I'll put it this way for you guys. That way you can see both my cute little beavers here. And I've got a couple of finished hockey sticks. And I'm starting to work on, I believe there's an Inukchuk that is coming up in this area here. So I'm excited about that. The floss for that, the dinky dyes that I've been using, it's amazing. I love it. Next one that I worked on, I will put a picture of it here. It was my little penguins from the Raiola's kit. That's where I was last week. And here I am this week. He's getting a little face going on. I did start in the middle, which I had said in a previous video I wouldn't do, but there's no straight line for the outside of this pattern. So I lined up everything and I started in the middle, and from the middle I went up so I could get a cute little face going on instead of just a big old puffy fat belly. And then I'll make his little friends to go with him. And my sister has named this guy Pete. So this one is going to be called Pete. The others are going to end up having names as well. I'm sure of it. So that's where I am on that one. Next one was my Heaven and Earth. I will put a graphic up to it here. It is a mini size, and it is the Toy Box Christmas, I believe the name of it is. So I have not put a graphic of it before. So you will see a picture of what it should look like. I will also have a picture here showing you where I was last time with it. And I will show you where I am at now, because I have made a bit of progress on this guy, as you can see here. So the next thing is my final project that I will be starting for May Mania. Will be designed by Barbara Ann Designs. It is hand over the coffee, and no one gets hurt. Right here. So I need to pick out the floss for this and get started on it today. I do have some fabric that I have picked up. It's not this yellow fabric. It's just going to be a natural, neutral colored fabric that I will be using. And I might switch up some of the colors in here. I don't know. We'll see. But I have a feeling I'll make a little better progress on this than I did with my gnome. And if anybody has any tips for the Mill Hill Study Gnome, if you've done it before and you have any tips on it, tips on figuring out the colors that are really close to each other and there's no numbers on them, that is greatly appreciated. I also am looking for other tips if anybody has any. I mark off where I'm working on the Raiola's pattern, and I am also marking off on my Aurora Cabin. Now, the Raiola's, it is a flat paper in the sense of it it doesn't have a sheen to it. So it's easy to mark, provided, you know, with the black areas, I'm just using a white pencil crayon, so that works. I work with whatever pencil crayon works over top of the color at the time that I'm working on. Now, my Aurora Cabin. I've been working on a few different things to try to cover up areas that I've stitched. But as you can see, there's a bit of a sheen on this. I'm hoping that it comes through. And so it gets difficult to mark off. My printer, if I print off and then highlight, it's an inkjet, so it just smears. So if anybody has any tips on what works best on here so that it's not entirely covered up, I would appreciate it. So anyway, I'm going to cut this short at this point. And I want to mention that from my Flosstube number 2, I was doing a giveaway, and it is still going on until the end of this month. So January, yeah, I'm going back in time. June 1st, I will be picking a winner. So if you want to figure out if you're wanting to have your name thrown in, go over to Flosstube number 2 and see what you need to do in order to have your name put into the drawing for the kit that I am giving away. So I am kind of going over the time that I really like to have the length of these videos. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and everybody stay healthy, happy, be nice to everybody, and I will see you later. And before I go, go Knights, go. Peace.